Black Men Cry Too is an invitation for men of color to feel safe to share their truth and unpack their hurt. This space was created for Black men to feel empowered and know it's okay that they can cry too. Hi guys. Okay, I'll talk to myself. Hi guys.
I'm sorry.
The fuck?
Because sometimes some people be like intro, so I didn't know. Normally y'all monologue.
My intro's already pre-recorded.
All
It's
right,
already
cool.
played.
She just-
Thanks for joining on in. Have you? Oh, you don't watch it, right? We already spoke about this.
Yeah, we
You've
did.
only listened.
I listen.
Well, now people can see your beautiful face.
I know, I'm adorable.
Yeah. Well, let's start it off. Introduce yourself. Just names.
I'm Reek, the good brother of the original Black man.
I am Skip from BK, Babyface God, Mimosa Poppy, Network King.
Okay,
You're
now
good.
that we got awkward intros out, let's kick it off with a cheers.
All right, let's do this.
Long time coming. Oh, tall man, short.
Bang it out.
Mm.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, we gotta hit it.
Oh.
You gotta hit it.
Everyone's different, you know.
Oh, this is-
So you do the hip, but you don't do the eyes. You
You're
have to
right.
look into each other's eyes when you take a cheers.
Should we do another one?
Oh, fuck it, yeah.
Let's
Why
fucking
not?
do another
Yeah,
one.
let's do it.
do another one.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that or 7 years of bad sex.
What? No, absolutely not. I don't need that. I'm having a good time right now.
Well, I'm glad you
It's
are.
pretty tasty. I never had this before.
That's
You've
good.
never had
Keep-
Uncle
I
Nearest?
keep hearing. I know this is the precursor to Jack Daniels, and it was the black man whose recipe was stolen, all that type of shit. And then a black man came and got back the rights. I know.
Know
I
your
know the
history.
whole backstory, but I never had the opportunity to taste it. This is pretty good.
I
Thanks.
don't
And you
think
can buy
people
it at
understand
Happy
how smart
Cork.
this man is.
Both of you.
Not with the alcohol. That's it.
No, I honestly think that both of you, so this actually segues us right into it. I do think that both of you are very intelligent men, and you guys have very strong opinions, and you guys are very passionate men. And I think a lot of us get to watch that online because you guys are very candid online. What makes you guys comfortable just talking freely?
I mean, everybody has to have a story, and when it all said and done, none of this really matters. In
What
the
doesn't
grand scheme
matter?
of things, like we're just matter that's floating. In the great scheme of things, scientifically, so everything is based on your perception. So if everything's centered on my perception, why would I really care about like outside opinion when it's me that has to go to sleep? It's me that has to wake up. It's me that's brushing my teeth. It's me that's using I was about to say the type of soap I use, but they're not paying us. They're not paying us.
That part.
So that's
right.
me using soap and shit like that, washing my legs and feet because that's important. These niggas is nasty out here. So yeah, so because of that, it's like, all right, if I just feel like being open and expressive, then why not? Like, what's really holding me back? For real.
Before Skip answers, I did want to ask, when you said perception, do you not care about perception versus reality? So your perception on something may be a little bit off on how whoever else was affected or whoever else may have been there.
Perception, I believe, only matters when you are in a space where you're corrupting somebody's comfort. So if I come in here and, there's a woman that's manning everything technological, and then there's you. So if I come in here and you think that I'm a creep, even if that's not true, I don't want to be perceived as a creep.
Okay.
If I'm coming in and niggas think I'm a thief, then I don't want to be perceived as a thief. But outside of anything that's derogatory, who really cares?
I love that.
You know what I mean? So that's my outlook.
That was a good one. I like the fact that you said comfort, because that's what I always say with people when it comes to perception versus reality. Like, if
Yeah.
you're disrupting my peace, like, there's a problem. If I feel anxious with you around, there's a problem, and both of us need to figure it out. But if I'm leaving myself and you're doing that to other people, there's something deeper going in there.
Yeah, if the comfort's not being compromised, then we all good. Then it's just basically my thoughts versus yours, and good luck.
Okay,
Your
Skip.
turn, Skip.
I should have went first because I was way deep into what my answer was going to be. But I think for me, my transparency online, I've been online in the social media space since 2007, 2008 on Tumblr. And that to me is the training ground of going viral, getting roasted on the timeline. When people roast me now, that don't mean shit. I have been murked for 4 or 5 days on Tumblr sometimes. And it's when you understand that, following what Reek said, it's not that nothing really matters. It's just, does it matter to you? If you let everyone else's thoughts about you matter more than your thoughts about you, you're going to lose yourself. And I think when it comes to even me being authentic and just showing up, I think a lot of times people appreciate that vulnerability, right? Because I'm strong enough to do that. Like I've been in therapy for almost 3 years.
We
So
love to
it's
hear
like,
it.
I'm not sure when this drops. It might be the 3-year anniversary of my therapist. Shout out to you. I thank you so much.
Are they a Black woman?
Black queer woman, yeah. So it's what's cool about that is like that's my space where I get to like I already know every Wednesday I'm gonna talk to her and we're just gonna talk about life. Even though I'm like right now I'm in a good place, sometimes I might not be in a good place.
That part.
But like that vulnerability is like I'm giving y'all the confidence to be yourselves. Like I'm not telling you anything. I'm just gonna lead in like vulnerability and authenticity because at the end of the day, those are people I rock with. I don't like when people are fronting. Like why you need to pretend to be anything else? Because if I rock with you, I rock with you. So if you don't rock with me being authentic, then that's okay. I'm not mad about it. I don't give a fuck about you. Like I give a fuck about the people that give a fuck about me. That's it.
So with that, you had mentioned something about being roasted on Tumblr.
Yeah.
How did the both of you deal with public scrutiny? Because having such a strong and like loud presence and opinions on social media will lead to people trying to find a way to either maliciously take you down or just challenge you so outwardly that it leads to public scrutiny. How do you guys deal when that happens?
You want to go first?
I'll go real quick. I think, especially like recently, I had like a bad tweet, real bad tweet. I don't know. I think Rico.
What do you
remembered it.
consider a bad tweet?
It was a bad tweet. It was like the thing where I was like, one of my homegirls, I don't know if Reek knows her, but she posted something. I was like, I thought, not it was like a witty bar, but I thought like for someone that you know, like, all right, this is cool. But the way I wrote the tweet, it kind of went viral for like 2-3 days. Like, yo, this is a bad tweet. Like, you're a creep and stuff like that. Now, I know I'm not a creep or none of that, but like, you can misconstrue something if you don't word things right. So sometimes you just gotta let it rock.
Wait a minute. For the listenership and the viewership, can you tell everybody what you said, please?
I don't remember the tweet.
You fucking remember the tweet.
I don't remember the tweet.
You can paraphrase.
It was like, damn, what was it? I actually put it in a box just not to think about it, but it was just like, do you remember? Because you remember?
It was something along the lines of being like sexually.
Oh.
It was something along the lines of just being like sexually inappropriate, but the way he was framing it was like that's supposed to be okay. But the way he framed it, I was like, yo, fam, I think you should like delete this.
Yeah.
Because this isn't like a good representation of your character. He was like, nah, it's a learning experience. I'm gonna use it for stand up. Yeah, I mean, I eat Wheaties in the morning. Like, just skip shit. So
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, man.
I do appreciate this. So I remember what it is. Something about like you have.
We're gonna come back to this moment.
We will. It was like something about having a fat ass, great face. But that's not the reason why I'm talking to you. It was like something where it was like there's more to you than just your aesthetic. It was kind of like, but the way it was worded was like, if
It's
you don't
because you
know
got
the
a
woman,
fat
it's
ass.
gonna be like, yo, this is crazy. Like I was thinking of like, if
Was
I
this
knew
someone
her-
you were talking to that you tweeted?
No, it was like one of my homegirls posted on her
Oh.
story. It was like she was laughing. It's like because you can tell like when someone's laughing, like this nigga's weird. But she was like saying, if I knew the person, this would have been funny. So it's like some women at first were like, if I knew the person because we have the rapport, you can do that. But you can't just randomly shoot like this
Right.
type of like long thing of like someone would be like, yo,
Can't
this is
shoot
kind
half
of
court
weird.
if you ain't Kobe.
Yeah, so I'm not in the DMs using that line, but I was like, to me, I read it and thought of it, and like Reek said, I didn't properly articulate how I wanted to say it because I was went, oh, so I think it made me more patient in my tweets now. I just can't afford to be dealing with that all the time because when you get to like the thousands and even like the 100,000s and then the millions, I can't imagine every tweet that you put gets like engagement of like minimum 50,000. You literally can't even work through the day on like Twitter and like Instagram. Like, damn, everyone's thoughts is like all around me. So I think it makes me more intentional what I write instead of just fuckery.
The way I deal with it is very simple. I live in the real world, and I see a lot of people put their innermost thoughts on social media and then think people aren't supposed to socialize about it. So I just write and upload things that I'm willing to talk about. And if I don't want to talk about it, I won't type it. It's that simple. Yeah. So if you see me saying something that's about me, I'm cool to talk about me. You know what I mean? But if I'm giving like halfway statements about things I don't know, if I'm giving dry humor, but nobody really knows my humor, and now I'm getting attacked. All right, nigga, now I'm getting attacked because everybody can't retone through tweets, through texts, or whatever have you. So getting bent out of shape from something that you decided to press upload on is counterproductive.
But then what if people take that into actual personal life? So they have their opinions made before they even actually meet you and get to understand your core, get to understand, okay, maybe you talk that way because it is dry humor and it's not something I should take personal.
Yeah, I mean, that's happened to me in regards to dating. There's women that follow me. And I'm glad that we have a camera here and that your show is so big. Because I want to say this like out loud, like with my words so everybody can hear my tone. I think Twitter, in its essence, is everybody showcasing ridiculousness. Nobody's really like this. Nobody really has these thoughts. It's like it's our way of being like cartoons. Now, unless you're somebody like in Fox or CNN, or if you're a representation of a company, that's one thing. But if we're all like regular people just having regular thoughts, like there's jokes, there's banter, there's, I would never date a dude that makes under 500,000, like just ridiculousness, right? So at my
That's where all outlandish thoughts can live.
So in my
freely.
head, it's like, all right, everybody's being outlandish. I can be outlandish too. So I'm coming in through with imagination. I'm coming through with trying to be comedic. I'm like, I'm trying to join with the fuckery. But the moment somebody dictates that it's not fuckery, now it's like, oh wow, now it's not fuckery because you said so. So if I'm saying something about women like, yo, I'm not trying to have no woman that wears glasses because I don't want inferior genetics in my bloodline. Something like that, right? That's obviously a joke. But like, you don't like what? And then you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Now
a whole uproar. Now there's a whole campaign against you.
But I chose to say this though. You know what I mean? So you just gotta take the backlash of what you're saying. So once you're willing to take accountability and recognize that it's an app you can delete off your phone, then everything is like just rolls off my back at this point.
So then on the flip side, for both of you again, if we kind of use it, and Skip, you're also a comedian, so yes, you also use your Twitter for jokes as well, but you sometimes do use it to vent about actual personal things that occur in your life.
Right.
And when you spoke about earlier being vulnerable. So then how do you also deal with that if that's not received well, or if someone is seeing that and trying to connect with you and being that you don't know like their actual intent?
That's again just taking out accountability, because I chose to type this. Nobody would know I'm going through this unless I chose to tell people.
Right.
So once you put your information out there, it's no longer yours. Everybody isn't entitled to your business.
Right.
For real. People should be minding their business. Everybody got their own lives. But the moment you put it on a platform, it's not your business anymore. So what they choose to do with your business, it's like out of your hands.
Yeah.
So being like, no, you should have took it this way, or this is my innermost thoughts. If I'm beefing with you right now, and I say Black Men Cry sucks. If I say this show sucks, right? And you're like, well, I bet when your mom was alive, she didn't think it sucked, right? You wouldn't know my mom died unless I put it on the internet. Now, as callous as that may sound, if I'm going to arm you with this information, I armed you with the information. Now, I can't be mad at you that you're going to use it in a way that I don't like.
Yeah.
Because why put it on a platform if I didn't want you to know it?
Right.
So that's how I had to deal with it. If I decide to put my innermost thoughts on the internet, I recognize that they're no longer mine. I'm putting them in the atmosphere, and whatever people do with them is whatever people do with them. And I can go to sleep knowing that I'm the person that dictated that.
I think for me, especially with the new features that they got, well, this year they added close friends on Twitter. And I know they're still rolling out in the beta. And I think like a year or two ago, Instagram, they got close friends. So I think now that once we got that green circle, if I put you in there, it's like, I'm just talking cash shit, because they can't see it from the outside if you're not in there. So I think for me, it's like a tier system of, all right, this is for y'all. Like if I'm going through something or something's happening personal, like these are 150 people, I fuck with you. If I'm in yours, like we don't speak about what happens in the green circle on the public timeline. I'll talk to you directly, like, yo, you good. But I think with how we're trying to create that privacy, levels of privacy, there are going to be things where like I might talk openly about mental health journey when it comes to diet, when it comes to vitamins, like publicly, because I think people need to know that. But it's like what Reek said, like I won't tell people things that are going with me unless I think it's important. And I think even using Reek as an example for like, he went through a very, traumatic experience like last year. Was it last year? Time is like freaking crazy.
Can I say it?
Yeah, my mom passed away in April.
Okay, because I want
But
to...
not just that. Remember your other...
And my grandmother passed away 2 weeks
so
prior.
like back to back.
Right.
That was like, that's intense. So it's like when people lose not just one, but like two very close family members, it's going to be very catastrophic. So I think for him, he had to kind of like refocus and recenter. And then also like it made him have to like really reflect. All right. So there's sometimes, and I think what I was studying with like how Rika was going is like, there's a lot of times where people, you go through something and people are just like, this is when you support. And then it's just like, but you can be consistent with the support. So
Right.
I talk to Rika once in a while because we're busy, but I'm always checking in. So it's not like, hey, out the blue, I didn't talk to him for like 2-3 years. It's like,
Right.
are you good? It's like, hey, I'll talk. Like I see him at events, like just make sure. But also on the other side, I don't want to overwhelm people when they're going through their life. Like again, even with me understanding my space, there are certain people that can ask me any question about my life. Like if Reek asks me anything, like he could do that. But a lot of other people, just because you know me online, you do not know me. We are
Right.
not friends.
Right.
Like I'm friends with you. I'm friends with Reek. Y'all my people. Some people like they follow you. They think we're friends. We're friendly. I do not know you. We do
That
not go
part.
out for drinks. I don't know. Wish you a happy birthday. I do not know you. Like I haven't seen your family. I don't chill with you and your. I
don't
do
check
not
on your
know you.
well-being.
Yeah, I don't know you. And it's cool. Like, I think when people like look at me and Rican, it's like they kind of like kiki kaka. It's like, yo, these people are cool and stuff like that. We are not like demigods. Like, we're real people. We are not friends. And I think sometimes with social media, it makes people feel closer to you than you actually are. And it's like, calm that down. We share things about our life. We're personalities. We're making y'all laugh. But at the end of the day, I have to say it for like the 4th time. We are not friends.
Can I just say something as like a learning experience for everybody that's going to listen and watch this? The reason why I put on social media that my grandmother passed away is because in my head I was saying that if I'm giving admiration and love and respect to Kobe and to Nipsey and to DMX and to the various other people that have formed our lives growing up, why wouldn't I give that same type of praise to my mother and my grandmother, right? That was me falling victim to social media. You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm like, come on now, where's the honor in that? How am I going to give 1,000 praises to Nipsey but not my own mother? But me viewing it that way was a detriment to me because now you have people coming out the blue saying things they don't really mean. And I opened myself up to that. Well, if I just kept these things to myself and everything was normal, I feel like that would have been easier to deal with. Because with me, I was at a pheromone chase when my mother and my grandmother passed away. So I was just looking for any type of thing to make me feel better in that moment. Yeah. So it was like, all right.
Comfort.
I'm getting a lot of attention right now. A lot of people giving me love. Theoretically, this should make me feel better. So let's explore this. And when you're in that pheromone chase and you're coming through and everybody's, yo, anything you need, I got you. Are you hungry? Are you thirsty? Did you shower today? What you doing? Have you been outside? Did you get some sun? Vitamin E? And I'm like, come on, my nigga. Like, niggas don't talk to me about fucking vitamin E and the normal. And I'm saying, what the fuck you know about vitamin E? And all of a sudden, niggas want to talk to me about these type of things. So anybody, it's gonna happen. Inevitably, it's gonna happen to all of us. When somebody close to you passes away, don't think that because you've honored other people that you need to honor people that's close to you, unless you're willing to take the public outreach that's going to come with that. But if you're the type of person that wants to be left alone and you want these thoughts to be separated from social media, then don't do what I did, because I did what I did out of like experimentation of trying to feel better.
What I would like to say to that specifically is I remember when you had posted it because I lost mine months before yours, and then in between the two of us, Claude lost as well. Sorry to say his name without clearance. Whatever, we'll work through that. But
Claude's a very generic name, so it's like, I mean,
sure, yeah, totally. And actually, it's fine. So when I had reached out to you, this was before I saw your rant, because I just saw what happened and was like, okay, I literally know this heartbreak. Let me reach out. I literally know what this feels like. And then I saw your rant and I was like, shit, now is he talking about like, am I one of those people? Did I overstep? Like, I'm literally reaching out because I know what this, I'm going through this. We're all going through this. People that we mutually know are going through this. It feels like we're unfortunately building a community of us that are going through this, even if it doesn't have to be like, oh, this is our community. We just going through the days, day by day together. It's, no, I know that there's a safe space that gets it and that I could rely on or like share certain thoughts when I feel like it's getting too challenging or I don't know where to go or actually understand. It's one thing when you're sharing something so deep with someone and they're like, oh yeah, I can get what that feels like. You don't. And you don't want to. And you don't want someone to fake it.
My grief, the way, in the moment, it felt like my grief was
on public display.
My grief on public display was very synonymous with if you was in a grocery store and you saw somebody who's like $20 short in their groceries and you just give them some money. Like, I didn't want my grief to be like your good deed for the day. And that's how it was starting to feel. And that's when I was getting infuriated and I started my rant. I mean, the people that's fucking with me is people that's fucking with me. But everybody else that I like halfway talk to, saying like these very interpersonal things to me, I'm like, yo, get the fuck out of here, son. Like, we don't even have this type of rapport. And it's not going to get initiated by my mom being dead. Like, that's not what's going to happen. But I've been talking mad long and we got somebody else here. So what are your thoughts on this, kid?
I didn't lose anybody close to me. So I'm just like, listen to y'all. But I think like how I remember my conversation, because I think after that, when I've seen you outside, I don't like when people have like those drawn out like conversations like that. So like, yo, you good? Like, all right, cool. I'm not going to do like the whole like Captain America, like T'Challa, like long ass motivational speeches. Like, no, I'm just going to keep it like short. Because sometimes I don't feel genuine. It's like, I give a fuck about you. So I'll tap in and stuff like that. But it's like, I think space. I'm really trying to understand space and like when people are grieving. And I think a lot of times people feel like they're helpful because we're scared of losing people to mental health. For like we lost Mac and we lost Michael K. Williams from like spike drugs or like how people cope with pain in their life, right? And I think it's like this guilt that people have is like they've probably experienced losing other people in similar fashions where it's like it's projection. And it's like understanding sometimes you don't need to project onto other people. You have to give them space and trust that they're going to make it through in their journey. But on the flip side, allowing them to know that you are available as a resource. Let them come to you, but you don't need to overburden them.
Right.
And I think with what Reek's saying, because of like that call, you would have thought that he's asking for help when he's just really sharing something that he feels could be pivotal,
which was a mistake for me.
So, and even like
which
for
I
him
shouldn't
to,
have done. If I can replay the whole situation back, I would just kept all that shit to myself, for real. Because the worst thing is like when you try and get over it, and it's somebody you haven't seen in a while, but they follow you. Like,
the first thing they say,
sorry, man. You're looking good, though. It's like, my nigga, come on right now, bro. We on the bitches right now. I'm not trying to fucking talk about this. You know what I'm saying?
We didn't have to be bitches today,
I'm
but
sorry.
that's cool, too.
We're on the lovely young ladies that bring
joy to y'all lives.
To my life.
Yeah,
yes. You know
okay. That sounded better.
You know what I'm saying?
Good save. I got you, bro. But that's it. I think like even this, like that's why I was quiet, because like, you know, when people like want to add 2 cents, it's like, yo, shut up. Sometimes you just gotta shut up. And I'm used to just shutting up sometimes. Just listen. I think a lot of
people need to learn that trait.
Just listen. And I think you do a lot more being like an active listener than feeling like I gotta add 2 cents. And I know I do comedy and stuff like that, but I know what I know. The things I don't know, I shut the fuck up and I just listen. And I think I've learned so much more about shutting the fuck up.
I love that, and I want more people to practice that. That's definitely going to be.
I was told that it's not professional to finish drinks and to refill when you're on camera, but I'm not professional, so am I going to do a service if I drink?
I was like, that was so drawn out.
I just got to make sure. All right.
Yes.
It was like one of these media tips that niggas tell you, like, yo, so don't ever finish your drink when you're on camera and all that type of
shit. I have the bottle on the table for a reason.
Okay.
I had. That's why
you've heard this, right? That's why you're not drinking shit, right?
No, I'm not.
It's on the table. Now y'all got me. You know what? I love it. Yes, well, feel free to refill.
So I don't be hearing people drink on the thing.
Hear the deep gulp.
There's always food, nobody bites it. There's always drinks, nobody sips it.
Yeah, I never understood that.
Fuck all that.
Well, while you guys are resipping and resetting, because I love to end on more of a positive note, you had mentioned about like understanding when to just extend as a resort or just accept this is in my conversation to add in 2 cents. When do you start accepting that, like, this is my journey and I deserve the places that I'm in, the spaces that I'm in, and the path that I'm going in? Like, these opportunities are coming to me because I'm putting in the work. I'm knowing when to shut up. I'm knowing when to raise my hand. I'm knowing when to ask for help. I'm knowing when to, like, put an idea out there.
So are you saying, like, when new opportunities come my way, or it's like...
How do you accept, like, good?
Oh, my therapist reminds me to do that. Like, I think one of the earliest things that we talked about in 2019 when I started talking to her, because I was in a bad point. Like that, I was having issues at work. I was kind of like in a space of actually, like I was like imposter syndrome. Like I'm at a tech company for the first time, and I'm around all these people that don't look like me, and I'm just like, yo, do I belong here, bro? Like, and you kind of like play that over and over because you're like one of the few, so you have like this weight. It's like, damn, I gotta be a super Negro. I gotta do all this stuff, and she's like, but why? You know, like why do we allow those type of cadences to like dictate who we are? And I think when it comes to new opportunities, it's like, first, like sit and think, how does this benefit me and how do I benefit it, right? Because it has to be back and forth. A lot of times we always think, well, this helps me, but it's like, does it help them too? And I think with a lot of the team-ups I've been doing recently, and it's been more fruitful, it's like really sitting with it. I think a lot of times we're so eager to try to climb, and it's like, but does it benefit you? Because sometimes I've been part of opportunities that, and actually, speaking of it, me and Reek were part of an opportunity that I thought was a good idea. I was building a thing, and it wasted our time.
Ooh.
It wasted our time. Now, it was a learning lesson because I did my Nick Fury thing. I brought people in, and those people wasted our time. But what it made me realize is I'm never going to allow people to waste my time because I'm not going to let anybody above me dictate. It's going to be us. And I think for us now, we're doing things together where it's just our voice, not someone telling us if we're awesome or not. Y'all don't do shit. We do shit. That's why y'all access here. So I think with that, it's just like, when the good comes, I'll be like, I deserve this. When the bad comes, it's helping me get ready for a bigger bag. And I think when it comes to that, sometimes we take things personal and it's like, I don't want to say it's just business, but it's life. I think sometimes you got to be redirected. Sometimes when I get rejected, it means that it set me up for something that I need that's more aligned with who I am as a person. Instead of like my ego, like I want this woman next to me, I want this opportunity, I want to be at this company. When you think about it, if they didn't want me, I shouldn't have to convince anybody to want me. I'm fucking fire. And when you understand that and you move in that energy, the people that align with you will move with you, and we get bigger bags instead of me trying to convince people to be next to me. I don't need to convince nobody shit. That's it. So I think that's what helps you get the better opportunities. Just being aligned with yourself. And a lot of people don't sit down and really get to know themselves. And I think during the pandemic and just really writing a lot and thinking, just like, I can say right now I have a really full grasp of who I am as a person, who I am as Howard Nedrick Jr., aka Skip from BK. Like, who are those people separately and who are they together, and how does that work for me in the long term? So, yeah.
Did that come off your dome like just right now?
Yeah, that was it.
I was about to be like, well, Rick, I'm gonna go home. If you want to wrap it up for me, that's cool. Cause who's gonna say something after that? The fuck?
Nice. I had to catch up to the homie. He was dropping numbers. Like Rick be just dropping
Rick be
numbers, bro.
ranting with facts.
Rick Bank Volume 2. It's out.
I still can't believe your name is Howard. And I know everybody just get past that, but I don't know nobody that's not 70 years old named Howard. I feel like that's what makes you so unique.
That's why I get jobs.
I was about to say my name. You get me through the doors.
How old was your father when he had you?
He's 26.
So this is a young nigga that called you Howard.
He's
a
also,
wise nigga.
No, he's also Howard. I'm Howard Nedrick Jr.
Oh,
He was giving that.
It's a bloodline.
It's a bloodline thing.
Got it,
so he
got
also
it.
said, like, I gave him this name because it's like, you got jobs. Because people be confused when they see me. It's
When you have a son, you gonna call him Howard the Third?
Nah, actually, I have a
Oh
conversation.
man, son, this guy is crazy. I'm gonna get back to what you want.
Look
me
at him.
to,
He's buying time.
you
I know
want
what
me-
Rick's doing.
you
He's buying time.
want me to piggyback off what he said? As
I want you to answer freely. I don't want you to piggyback off anything.
Because I want to make sure I'm not deviating from the question. How do I deal with getting praise that I feel like I shouldn't be getting?
Not praise, opportunities.
Opportunities.
In the direction when like you're getting the yeses that propel you forward. Because sometimes like Skip, Howard, whoever he wants to identify
both
today,
sides.
I don't know. I was like, I don't know who he is right now. It's both of them combined.
Usher vs. Raymond, or Raymond, that fucking album,
Listen.
right? What is that shit called? Raymond vs. Raymond?
Yeah, it was Raymond first. Raymond.
I don't. Now you're talking about shit. No, I'm not that cool. With having imposter syndrome, I think because we do so much work that we don't realize when it's actually paying off. And when it pays off, we still like doubt ourselves to be like, no, because we're not there. We keep seeing where there is, so we don't accept where we are at the moment. How do you sit and accept like, nah, I did that work to be here, so now I'm going to continue doing this work to get there?
Because I'm incredibly practical. But it's self-imposed practicality because being practical is subjective. So in my head, I'm like, okay, in the grand scheme of things, I did this. And because I did this, and I did this for this amount of time, I did this. So because I did these three things, I now have more visibility than ever before. So now these people think I'm worth something. Let's see where this goes. So, and I'm very much so like a go with the flow type person in all aspects. Like if right now, I don't think I've ever had Taiwanese food. If after we left out, he was like, yo, you want to get some Taiwanese food? I'd be like, sure. I wouldn't know nothing about the menu. I wouldn't know anything, but I just like accepting and seeing new things because that's what life to me is all about.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're in this very cyclical and redundant type of lifestyle, where's the growth in that? I'm not that person that brings a ham and cheese to work every day. Sometimes it might be Thai, sometimes it might be Chinese, sometimes it might be West Indian, but I like switching things up. So if an opportunity arises that I feel like I might not be prepared for, what's preparation for real? You know what I mean? How many people, we all know athletes in here, devoting hours and hours into the gym, and then when they get in the game, they're getting 4 points. What are these hours? Like, you can technically shoot, you can technically dribble, but you don't got the rhythm and the whatever have you to get that 30. So I believe that being able to, what is the thing that MacGyver does? Improvise. If you have like no, if improvisation isn't a part of your like personality, then that's when you're like, oh, hold on, I don't think I'm ready for this. I don't know it's about to come. What if I'm not ready? But it's like, all right, nigga, fuck it. They give me this opportunity, whatever. I'm gonna do my 1-2, and either they fuck with it, they fuck with it. If they don't, they don't. But no matter what you think about yourself, it's not in the cards. If it's not in the cards, I mean, if they're not gonna like it, or if I'm ill prepared for it, then that's on me. But feeling as though that I'm an imposter in a situation is, I just can't get down with that type of thing because there's been so many stories, because I'm an avid interview watcher of people. There's been so many opportunities to where people was just thrusted into something, didn't know nothing about nothing, and then they was able to exceed. So were they an imposter? Was Will Smith an imposter as an actor? He never did no acting in his life and was on one of the biggest sitcoms in the 90s. And Quincy Jones thrusted him in the position like, listen, I know you've never had a rehearsal. I know you've never done this, but every single executive that you're ever going to need that can greenlight this show is in there right now. And Will Smith's like, yo, give me 2 weeks. Just give me 2 weeks to get acting coach. Like, okay, I can give you 2 weeks. Or you can just go and do this right now.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And is Will Smith an imposter? Is he like, oh my God, what if? Like, nah, nigga, I'm Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? Fuck him. Let's see what's going on. And that type of vision about yourself, everybody got to view themselves as Will Smith, no matter what the capacity that they're in. So that's what I choose to do. Me and Skip right now we have this improv show we do every month, right? This fun date.
Marketing.
Dysfunctional date, right?
Yeah.
And I haven't ever done improvisational comedy in my life. So the dude Reem, he contacted me. You know, we built a rapport
Yeah, I told him to reach out to him.
from
Everything, every time there's an opportunity,
this.
I always throw it to Reek because I believe in Reek, man. I believe in him so much.
So Skip and Reem, them, they hit me like, yo, we think we would get nice for this. They've never seen me do improv. I didn't go to Second City and became like this mega superstar as far as improv is concerned. I'm a nigga that talks to myself on my own podcast. So when I came in, I was like, all right, let's see what's going on. And now I'm one of the funnier people on the show. I didn't come in there like I was about to be an imposter. I came in there like, all right, let's see what happens. And I approach everything like that. I mean, people can tell me whatever. They can try to have me be at the fulcrum of a marketing campaign. I have no marketing experience, but I'm going to do it because why not? So, yeah, that's just my long-winded answer to your question.
I have one last question before we go into our wrap up. How do you guys sit
Wrap up.
with...
The show's done?
Baby, I know you can talk, but we got to limit to our conversations. I do enjoy it, though. I love being quiet and listening to Black men get an opportunity to speak about their intelligence. It's my favorite thing to do. That's why I have the show. Anyways, how do you accept when there's someone that's believing in you and pushing you? Like, how do you actually deal with it? There's some people that will run from it and they don't accept the fact that, like, no, there's someone is genuinely believing in you. Like, can you see what someone else sees in you and actually take it for an opportunity or admit when you feel uncomfortable for them to continue coaching you, like accepting that actual cosign coach? Like, you guys can do it equally, maybe because you think you're peers, but like, what if there's someone that you guys admire that's looking at you like, all right, we're going to get you here by doing this?
Now, that I struggle with, and I'm going to tell you a story. I was... my freshman year of college, broke, and I mean, no actual means of income. And there was a dude that was on the basketball team with me. And we hung out all the time. And there was a point in time to where, you know, we would go get Chinese food. Because that's when I was eating pork and just eating terribly as an 18-year-old. Mm-hmm. And we would come through, I didn't have no chicken. So he'd be like, yo, don't worry about that. So that happened a few times where I was like, yo, I'm just going to be cool. I'm going to eat at the cafeteria when I get back to school. He's like, man, we all way out here, man. Don't worry about it, man. If I'm hungry, there's no way you're going to be hungry there's no way you're going to be starving if I'm around. If I can get the food, then we got food, right? So now we're building a rapport. A month or so goes by, and now, you know, as everybody does, we start joking on each other. You know, like, look at this dude's sneakers. Yo, you don't get no this and that. So we're just joking on each other, but very like surface level stuff. He was like, yo, you always trying to joke on me? Look at you, nigga. If it wasn't for me, you'll be starving. When you want to eat, who do you come to? You come to me. And he's like just trying to sun me and shit like that. I'm like, okay. So I carried that lesson. I'm like, all right, you got to be able to discern when somebody's trying to help you and when somebody wants something over you, to try to sun you or to keep something in their back pocket to belittle you. And I struggle with that literally to this day. Because in that moment, I'm like, damn, son, you came. I didn't ask you for no money for Chinese food. Like, I'm chilling with you because, you know what I mean, we chilling with each other. We both went to the spot and you offered. And I'm like, all right, cool, yo, good looking type shit. When I have it, then you never got to worry about it. You know, we fast forward and now I'm in all these creative things and people reaching out, trying to help and trying to lend a helping hand. And I'm like,
I don't know if I trust it.
what is this? Mm-hmm. What does this hand come with? Are we going to be in a situation to where you're going to try to blow up my face like, Reek, the original will be nothing without me. And then physical violence got to happen after that. And I mean, because now I feel like I have to physically overpower you to compensate for the fact that you was trying to sum me over something that you try to bring in with sincerity. So yeah, it's something that I still juggle with to this day. I'm not going to say that I'm a proficient and be able to discern who's going to help me and who's not. But at this point, you know, sometimes it's all about risk assessment. So I see here, I'm like, I try to assess the situation because at the end of the day, you're humans. at our core, we're risk averse. Anything that when we can get like the less amount of damage done to us, but get the most out of it is how we operate. So these are the things that I try to put into my vision in regards to people trying to help out. And I trust now that I'm older and I've seen more things and I've been around more people, part of me. I see who you are and I make a conclusion. Like, you know what? You're somebody who's trustworthy to me. And then I just gotta go with my own personal judgment of character. And then I just gotta, same thing with like, when I put things on social media, you gotta live with whatever result comes from it. Same thing with when I build relationships. I chose you. I didn't have to choose you. I thought you was a cool dude. Now I just gotta take what comes with that. So yeah, that's what I do.
I like that a lot.
I think following up with Reek, because like I did say before, like I believe in it, but because I remember that story because he told me that story. I think it's different, like how I help, because a lot of times people like want to keep rejecting and want to do too much. It's like, like love bombing and how people talk about that. Like I think it's like help bombing. This probably should be a term with that when people be like trying to help you too much. Like I think I help Reek not just enough but like when I see it, it's like, all right, cool, but I'm not gonna tell people what I do to help Reek. Like he knows. And I know when we help each other, but I'm not going to be bragging about, because I don't make the original black man. Reek does. He's done it for like the last, ever, since he was born.
Since he was born?
Yeah, I was going to say like, before he knew he was the original black man, right? Before that moniker came being, he made it. And I think there's something like psychologically wrong with people that think they can make you. I can't make nobody. But I always see myself as, I'm the person that's throwing alleys. Mm-hmm. It's whether
put
you
people
catch
in position.
Yeah, it's like it's whether you catch it and you dunk it is up to you. Like, I'm not the person that made you. We both set the play up, but you got to finish it. Because I can throw many alleys, and I've thrown many alleys. People have dropped it, and guess what? Some people I kept throwing it. Other people, I'm just not gonna throw to you no more. And I think for me, especially when it comes to like comedy and even acting, like with web series, like with my best friend, he's like my creative like partner. That's my brother Jomo, and his fiance. Well, I don't know, by that time CrossFit, they're gonna be married. We're gonna be going through it this year, but he's believed in me. Like that moment we had with the Will Smith when it was like, I'm part of a web series and I've never really acted and I'm like nervous and stuff like that. It's like, yo, bro, you do this. Why are you thinking about this too much? He's believed in me before I believed in me, and I can talk all these motivational things, but everything I do, from every podcast, web series, he's always editing it. Like my comedy show, he does the flyers for it. Like that's the type of support.
Because either you got it or you don't.
Yeah,
that's
like,
what it all boils down to.
Yeah. So when you get that support, you got to sometimes be able to be like, again, just back to that previous question with the opportunity. Like, people are helping me because they see something in me. I have to see it in me. I have to like make both of those ideas come together. Be like, all right, these people wouldn't waste their time with me if I didn't have anything. And on the flip side, I don't have to overthink, because again, like what Reek said, discernment is very important. Like, there's some people I don't want to work with. Now, they're still talented people, but they don't move the way I move. And I don't like it. Now, with the people that move the way I move, I'm going to throw them alleys because we know how we work. Like, some people, like what happened with that is like, I'm going to brag about this. There's a lot of things I do. Nobody knows in this scene. That's why I call myself the network like king. It's like, nobody knows. You don't need to know. If you know, it's because we allow you to know. But other than that, they finished the play. It's not about me. If they finished it, they did it. I'm just a person that pushed it forward. That's it.
I love that. Oh my gosh, you guys made me so tingly inside. I'm so happy that I didn't tell you guys that you were sitting with each other today. Yay.
I mean, it wouldn't matter. It's my dog.
I know.
That's my guy right here.
But I didn't want y'all to be like, ooh, chi.
My foray into improv comedy because of this guy. So it's like, and a whole bunch of other things.
He took the play. So he could have said no.
Love it.
So again,
pick up each other.
Play. No, you too. Like again, before I even knew this existed, I was listening to it. Like I like to do my homework because I'm a very paranoid person. I don't like coming unprepared. So I like listen to this like, yo, this is a good space. I really like this. And then even at the end, I want to always give Reek flowers. I want to give you your flowers. Like,
and I'm going to follow you right after that. I got things to say about Kat on camera.
Yeah, so I want to throw back and forth. We got to do because I think it's important. I don't remember what season this is. I just know it's a lot of seasons.
4.
It's 4. It's like a lot. And I listened to all of them. You had like a lot of amazing people in different range of life that we know. Like so many talented people. But I think for you, like you came up with this idea, right? And from start to finish, you set it up. You're scheduling us. You're making sure all these things happen just to give like black men a space to talk about things. You didn't have to do this, but you did it. And I think it's really important. I want to say thank you. And you're probably going to do this for many more seasons. I'm not going to jinx it. But I want to say you're awesome. And I think you've always been awesome since I met you with your energy, your fervor, and just how you carry yourself. So I think it's important for you to get your flowers because, you know, Lord willing, I'm gonna knock on wood. I might not be here tomorrow, but I want to make sure today you heard that I felt the way I felt, because I think that's what's important for our friends. It's hard doing this, scheduling, paying for this thing, working with people, and I think you need to hear like, yo, this is important work, and like I want you to keep going. I think this is awesome.
Yeah, and
Actually,
in two regards, I remember when you had the Manscaped partnership at one point in time, and this just shows how giving you are as a person, because my genitalia has never been so clear as because of your promo code. You know, I got my genitalia clean at a discounted rate because of your giving this. You know what I'm saying? And
This man has got to go.
But no, on a serious note, you know, we
For all those women that have experienced it, you're welcome.
Me and my investment collective, we have a flagship party, because we know we do events and stuff.
That
but our
part.
flagship party is Jack in the Box.
Yes, sir.
And
It's a
the
time.
very person we were speaking about, Claude, you know, he's part of the collective, the Four Good Brothers collective. And he was telling me like, yo, we need to have Kat. You know, Kat's a dope bartender. Now, with me and Kat's relationship to that point was like very in passing. Like, well,
Yeah.
the shorty that's racially ambiguous with the crazy hair. That's what I knew her as. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So, it's just what I didn't
That's
know
cool.
nothing
I'll
about
take
you.
it.
You know what I'm
It
saying?
could have been
It's what
other
it is.
terms, you know?
So then I'm like, all right, boom, boom, boom. So as, you know, she started coming to the fold, there is no Jack in the Box without Kat. Period. No matter how much money we put up, no matter how many things we do as far as marketing is concerned, you know, closing the venues, the DJ, whatever, the precipice of the event is the drinks. We don't talk to Kat about the drinks. It's not like we're talking to one another and then we have a private conversation with Kat. Kat has full ownership of the drink. So whenever people come and, you know, they see the different things, if you want anything outside of Jack Daniels, anything that's like mixed or whatever have you, the expertise that comes with coming to the bar and getting a drink, that's all Kat. And she doesn't have to do that. Kat can charge us $5,000 a party on some bartender shit because her expertise is that vast. Because when she's not doing this, she's like one of the best bartenders I've ever been around. And aren't you a bartender right now?
Rogers Garden.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and she gets
Yeah.
trillions of dollars in tips because of how dope she is. That's what I'm telling you,
know
man.
your schedule, so I pop up when you're. Not to say that the others are bad.
They're
'cause
all
I don't want to make it seem like, yo,
no, it's a dope spot.
I just
Everyone
like
there. I learned
drinking
from
people I
that.
She
know.
garners trillions of dollars from tips because of her expertise and how dope she is as a bartender. And the fact that she was able to put that to what we got going on just shows like how dope you are as a person. And once you asked me to come to this, I've been wanting to come on the show forever.
Y'all
And,
could have just also asked, but
no,
whatever.
it's all
We'll
good,
get to
man,
that.
because I know you're so high profile. You want high profile people to, you know what I'm saying, to keep the show going. Because everything is centered around visibility. If you bring around a whole bunch of people that niggas don't know, nobody's gonna watch it, then you won't be able to have this fantastic studio. So the fact that I was able to pull up in my ranks to be on the show, and the fact you asked me to be on the show, it just shows how dope you are. So I just want to give you your flowers and just tell everybody, if there's any type of facet in your life that you can have Kat, jump at the opportunity.
I received this. I appreciate this. I didn't expect this, and I don't know how to handle this right now, but thank y'all for this moment. This meant everything. I kind of needed this, so thank you. Okay, so going back on schedule, this is how I typically wrap up the show. Not with this, so this is new. What is something that you would tell a younger you? Or just younger Black men?
I'm gonna answer both of those.
One, it's not that serious. Two, put the work in. Don't go on natural ability. And three, learn coding. I would tell
that's
15-year-old me in
one for
2005, yo, if you learn coding, you'll make $200,000 by the time you're 20.
He's not wrong. He's not
Learn
wrong.
coding
He's not
right
wrong.
now. You won't have no student loans. You'll have the
not
car. You'll have the crib at 20.
The
if you learn
lovely
coding
young
right now.
ladies.
And you know what's really crazy about our society? We were all coders at one point because we all had MySpace.
MySpace. I know.
And
it's going,
nobody
next
took
the other one.
advantage of the joint.
Zenga?
Zanga and MySpace, both of them, you had to like make your
Yeah, the whole
but it's
page.
Like, that was like HTML, CSS, which is like a foundational.
We all fumbled our own bag.
If I
Foundational
can jump in
coding
a time machine like, yo, Reek, your athleticism is going to fade. You're always going to be funny. You need to get this coding shit. You can get this tech money. The tech money is I feel like tech is the only thing that you can have absolutely no experience, and in 6 months you can make 6 figures.
Yep.
There's no other job like this unless you're a trap star. It's not like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you're putting your freedom on the line. I would told 15-year-old me, yo, you will have no issues if you know how to make a website from scratch. So that's the one thing I would have told my younger self.
That's actually really important.
That's fire. So I'll make it an answer to like my younger self and just anybody that's younger than me and Reek and the other guests. I would say, don't get caught in the details. And what I mean by that is a lot of times you get obsessed with, if it's not perfect, I'm not going to do it. Like I had like this whole thing of I have to be the man. I got to be perfect. Human beings are not perfect. Those are androids. Those are the future villains we got to go against.
Howards are perfect though. Everybody who met Howard,
Especially if they're
I don't know about
junior.
that. Howard Hughes and all those, like there's a lot of white men named Howard that are not perfect. So I'm going to let you know, even I prefer Skip. So, but I think when it comes to that, like that has like slowed me up so much in life, whereas like, you know, trying to get the women that I want to get or like the opportunities I want to get, I was like, if I don't move this way, it's not going to happen. It's like, it's either yes or no. And I think when you kind of get caught up into it, it's like, if it's a no, it just means like my boy Jeff, he always says no equals new opportunities. I love that quote. That's one of my favorite quotes, because then it's like, if you
No is an acronym?
that's for him.
No is an acronym.
That's what he thinks about. No is new opportunities. Because when you think about it like that, if someone tells you no, it could be no for right now or just no forever, but also could just lead you to where you need to go. I just think a lot of times we get caught up in things. And I think for us, life is about mobility and it's like intention. And I think the second thing I would tell myself is like, look, find the people that make sense and hold on to them. Because a lot of times you're gonna meet a lot of like janky people, and still lessons. I don't regret meeting some people because it made me learn to appreciate the real. And I feel like when you appreciate the real, it makes you kind of like excited for what life has for you. So I think for like young black men, is like just be cool with just not getting caught up in details and just like keep moving, bro. Like that's all it takes. Like we're all going through this crazy thing called life, and we don't know shit. And I think that's the thing. We don't know shit. You can figure it out tomorrow. You can figure out a week later, but just give it a chance. That's it.
I love that. Okay, last question, I promise.
She loves asking us questions. You're gonna keep saying last.
I know. This is really how the show ends. It's always how
man, I
that's
drove
my
all this
song.
way, man. We can
Come on,
do this
burn
show
the
for
boy
another
today.
5 hours. I'm chilling.
No. I'm dead ass. Less. Name 3 songs that get you in and out of any mood. Doesn't matter what the moods are. Top of your head. You're not looking through your phone.
Shit.
You knew it was coming. You listen.
I did, but then I forgot.
March Madness, Annie Up, Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See.
Those are really good. I'm sorry. All them shits get me.
All right, so I'm not gonna copy you. So I would say, so I'm a big Drake fan, but I'm not gonna put 3 songs Drake. That's a little too obsessive. So I'm gonna put Drake Fear, and that's like an old Drake song. That's like something that if you know that song, to me that's one of my top 3 favorite Drake songs. If I'm in a mood and I just need to think about something, I put on Drake Fear. I put on Meek Mill's Dreams and Nightmare. I just feel like there's a lot of good Meek songs, but I think that energy, like if I'm not feeling myself, I play that transition. Hold up, wait a minute. Like, how are you upset when you hear that transition?
Well, you should be upset.
And I think now I would play, because it's Beyonce season, you know, I would put America Has a Problem. And I think because it's a realist, like Beyonce is good. Like she has a writer's room, like good with the pen, but it's like that song has layers to it. And I think it's even now when we're looking at it, we have a president that's giving a lot of money to outside country. And it's like, we are poor. We are going through a recession. And it's like, it helps me be like mindful. Like, cause a lot of times, you know, we're technically a first world country, but there's a lot of people that need assistance. So it's like another thing where it's like, yo, people are poor. Like the fact that we're sitting here, we have come from homes, we got phones, stuff like that. We are doing better than at least 70% of the world. And I think that sometimes like, not to be like, you know, morose with it, but it's like perspective. And I think with perspective gives appreciation and makes me be able to like move with more gratitude.
Yeah,
so like those are my 3 songs.
If you have a phone that you can type how poor you are, you're really not poor.
Yeah.
Perspective.
Bars.
Yeah. And with that, that wraps this show. Thank you guys for sitting down with me today.
Bang, bang, squad, squad.